Welcome to Cosmic Road, where I explore all aspects of the paranormal, from UFOs to Bigfoot to spirituality and beyond. Today, I wanted to talk about Lou Elizondo's comments on the phenomenon being a global issue. One of the frequent criticisms from doubters and skeptics, they say, well, why does it only take place in the U.S.? Obviously, the answer is that it takes place all over the world. UFOs and strange phenomenon are occurring globally all the time, and there are so many cases of it happening globally. From the Yeti to the friendship case in Italy to UFOs in Peru, all sorts of related phenomena associated with what I call the greater phenomenon happen all over the world. But what about the individual countries? Are they investigating the phenomenon in the same way that the U.S. appears to be investigating it? Well, here is what Lou had to say about it. By the way, this is from a series of mine that I call Parsing Lue, where I take little bits that Lou has said in various interviews and examine them in greater detail. Please hit like, please subscribe. If you do hit subscribe, please hit the bell next to it to be notified of future videos. I would really appreciate it. That would be awesome. And as I'm going through it, please comment below and let me know what you think. Okay, great. Let's get into it. Here's what Lou had to say.
Do you feel it's safe to assume that there is collaboration, even if somewhat limited, with other countries around the world in seeking answers to the UAP situation?
Yeah, I know for a fact, absolutely, and I think it's critically important. Again, this is a global issue, not a U.S. issue. This is an issue that involves all of humanity, not just one particular group of human beings or another. When you look at a map and you take away all the lines on the map and all the borders, you realize that we're really all rather connected. You know, Americans are Americans, whether you're in North America, South America, Central America, whether you're in Canada or the United States. We all share the same neighborhood. We might live in individual houses, but we live in the same neighborhood. And I think it's silly that we would presume that any type of advanced technology would recognize nations' borders like we do. Unless they have a copy of Wayne McNally map on board and they're looking, oh, we can't go over here because this is now Canadian airspace. We have to stay right here. That's silly. That's not the way it works. And so I think it's probably important that we continue to enjoin and engage our foreign friends. After all, we probably could use their help in this topic.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, interesting. Sure. Well, the phenomenon is obviously happening globally. There are so many cases of it, and there are actually countries that have come forward with classified files or files that had been classified that they have declassified and since released. The UK has done that, France has done that, even Russia has done that. We are now able to see behind the scenes what some of these other countries have been dealing with. Now, of course, they don't go as far as we would like. We don't get to see any of their, the French Area 51, if there is such a thing. Just as with the declassified American documents, we don't get to see any of the really juicy stuff. So we are left to speculate just how deep does that particular rabbit hole go. But clearly this is a global phenomenon and every country is reacting to it in their own way. What Lou seems to be interested in, and this is what's brilliant about Lou and his people, his team, with what they're doing and how they're approaching it, he is trying to get the different countries to coordinate with each other, to share data, and to formulate a coordinated plan. He spoke about this when he broke away from TTSA with Chris Mellon and Steve Justice. Lou said he was kicking things into second gear. I think we're in third gear now, or just about to enter third gear. but part of second gear was working with other countries in their own UFO programs and trying to make a more coordinated effort to get this information out there and to spur especially the American government into greater action. We seem to have gotten a lot of that greater action with the U.A.P. task force and the report they delivered, the preliminary report, because there are going to be more reports in the future. There is a bill before Congress I talked about just a few days ago that, if passed, we are going to get quarterly reports. Now, I don't know how much of that is going to be made public. Are we going to get a classified version and a declassified version of those quarterly reports? Or is it only going to be behind closed doors? We don't have any of those details yet. The bill hasn't even been passed yet. It may not be passed. But clearly Congress is moving on the UFO/UAP issue. And that is in large part to the efforts of Lue Elizondo, Chris Mellon, Tom DeLonge, TTSA in general, and their associated friends and allies. But all of that leaves me wondering, is there a French Area 51? Is there a Russian Area 51 or a Chinese Area 51? There has got to be a breakaway group, if you want to call it that, a deep UFO research team in more than just one country. Surely other countries have a deep UFO research team. And by that I mean reverse engineering craft, developing technologies, potentially even working with the intelligence behind the phenomenon. Which begs the question, if the intelligence behind the phenomenon was working with the Russians, for example, is that the same group of aliens or entities that is working with the U.S.? Is this a coordinated effort by the phenomenon to get different countries to work on the same project or even competing projects? Are these different groups of E.T.s or the visitors that are doing this? I would love to know. Of course, realistically, we probably will never get to know any of the really juicy stuff. Like we will probably never really get to know what the heck is going on at Area 51 or wherever it has moved to now. Where is the breakaway group operating out of now? It's probably no longer in Area 51 because there is so much scrutiny on it. So, who knows where it is now? It may be in various locations. It probably is. Maybe in those deep underground bases, the DUMBs. But who knows? But we probably won't get an answer on any of that until the truth behind the phenomenon is revealed. And that won't happen, I don't believe, until the intelligence behind the phenomenon wants it to happen. But what do you think? Share your thoughts below. Let me know what you think about the phenomenon being global, what other countries are up to regarding the phenomenon, and how other countries are relating to each other and working together. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Like I said, comment below, let me know what you think. And please, it would be great if you hit the subscribe button, and if you do, the bell next to it to be notified of future videos. Oh, and I have a Twitter page now and a Facebook page, so see those links below. If you want to support the channel, if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, that'd be awesome. There is a PayPal link below. Until next time, Cosmic Road out.